Zambrano carers and their rights under the EU settlement scheme. Hello my dearest friends, Svetlana Shlapak, the founder of UKVisaSuccess.com is here. In today's video I'm going to give you an overview of these complex Zambrano carers rules and explain how to check if you qualify to make an application as a Zambrano carer. I'll start with explaining who Zambrano carers are, and then I'll explain the dependency every child in the application should demonstrate. I'll explain three key elements of the indefinite leave to enter or indefinite leave to remain Zambrano carers applications under the EU settlement scheme, and four stages of the eligibility requirements, and when the continuity of residence will be broken. Also, I'll give you the definition of supervening events, and I'll finalize today's video by explaining what this all may mean for you and what you should do if you believe that you may qualify to make an application under the Zambrano carers rules. Guys, I also wanted to let you know that I've created two free masterclasses to help you understand how the EU settlement scheme works. If you are an EU national or a family member of an EU national and you already reside in the UK, the free online masterclass which you may benefit from attending can be found at ukvisasuccess.com/masterclass 4 as a number EU. And if you are a close family member living outside the UK, or you are an international residing in the UK and you would like to know more about how to make applications for your loved ones to join you here in the UK, do join another free masterclass which I've created for those who want to know more about family permit applications. And once again, it is completely free and you can get access to the masterclass at ukvisasuccess.com/family permit. Okay guys, let us begin with the Zambrano carers rules. Okay, Zambrano carers, who are they and what rights do they have under the EU settlement scheme? In simple terms, a Zambrano carer is a person from a non-EA country who needs to live in the UK in order to look after a child who is a British citizen. The primary carer of a British citizen will have what is known as a derivative right of residence in the UK based on Zambrano rules, if both of the following applies. The British citizen child is also residing in the UK, and the child will not be able to reside in the UK or in another EA state if the primary carer left the UK for an indefinite period of time. In addition, a Zambrano carer must not be an exempt person, which means that they cannot have indefinite leave to enter or remain in the UK unless this was granted under Appendix EU under the EU settlement scheme. The dependency factor. Under the EU settlement scheme, a person will have a Zambrano rights of residence if the child is under the age of 18 and is dependent on the Zambrano carer, and the child's primary carer does not have a visa unless this was granted under Appendix EU under the EU settlement scheme, and the child's primary carer, who is also the child's direct relative or legal guardian, is entitled to a Zambrano right of residence, and the primary carer would be prevented from residing in the UK if the child left the UK for an indefinite period of time. Zambrano carers will be entitled to indefinite leave to enter or indefinite leave to remain in the UK if they meet Zambrano carers eligibility requirements, they have completed a continuous qualifying period in the UK of 5 years as a person with a Zambrano rights to reside, and no supervening event has occurred. There are 4 stages in assessing the eligibility requirements. Stage number 1, assessing British citizenship. The decision maker will start considering the application with assessing whether the child in this application is a British citizen. Stage number 2, direct relatives or legal guardians. Here the decision maker will be assessing whether the Zambrano carer is the direct relative or legal guardian of the British citizen child. Stage number 3, primary carer. Here it will be assessed whether the Zambrano carer is the primary carer of the British citizen child. And finally, at stage number 4, it will be decided whether the British citizen child would be unable to reside in the UK or the EEA if a Zambrano carer was required to leave the UK for an indefinite period of time. Let me explain what the Home Office means by the continuous qualifying period. There are 2 rules. A continuous qualifying period is a period of residence which began before the specified date. At the time of creating of this video, the specified date is 31st of December 2020. And during this period of time, the Zambrano carers were not absent from the UK for more than 6 months in any 12 months period of time. There are, however, some exceptions to the absences rules. For example, your absences will be disregarded if there was a single period of absence which did not exceed 12 months, and that was for an important reason such as pregnancy, childbirth, serious illness, study or vocational training, or an overseas posting, or any period of absence on compulsory military service. So it doesn't really matter if it was for 12 months or more, or any period of absence on posting on Crown service, or any period spent working in the UK marine area. And secondly, a continuous qualifying period will be interrupted where the person served or is serving a sentence of imprisonment of any length in the UK or in Ireland, or there was a decision or an order to deport, remove or exclude the person from the UK. Also, guys, just to let you know that if you have not resided continuously in the UK for 5 years, if you are a Zambrano carer but your residence in the UK was for less than 5 years, then you may still be eligible to make an application under the EU settlement scheme, but instead of settled status, you are most likely to get a pre-settled one. What does the Home Office mean by no supervening event has occurred? This means that between the time when the Zambrano carer qualified for indefinite leave to enter or indefinite leave to remain, no events happened which would have interrupted the 5-year qualifying period. And what are these supervening events? Well, there are generally 2 supervening events at the date of application. The first one is absences from the UK for more than 5 years. Guys, just to let you know that it is a very generous provision here, which is unique to EU settlement scheme applicants, as normally, according to the domestic UK immigration rules, person will lose their right to indefinite leave to remain or indefinite leave to enter after 2 years of absences from the UK. And secondly, the supervening event will also occur when there was a decision or an order to exclude or remove or deport a person from the UK or islands. And what does this mean for you, my friends? Well, it means that if you believe that you qualify under the Zambrano carers rules, then you need to make an application as soon as possible. Procrastination at this stage may have a detrimental effect on your status in the UK, and if you don't do this at this stage, you may lose your right to remain in the UK after 31st of December 2020. And for this reason, you should gather evidence confirming that you meet the eligibility requirements and make an application without further delay. And also, just before I finish this video, I wanted to remind you, my friends, that when considering the application involving children, the Home Office is under the legal duty to have regard to the need to safeguard and promote the welfare of a child under the age of 18 who are residing in the UK, and they also have to consider how the refusal will be affected if the child is outside the UK. And this goes together with the Article 3 of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. So when the decision maker considers Zambrano cases applications, they must carefully consider all the information and evidence provided concerning the best interest of the children. And for this reason, in addition to all official documents which you will consider submitting in support of your application, I suggest that you also write a letter clearly explaining how the child's life will be affected by the refusal. And this is it, my friends. This was an overview of Zambrano carers rules. In today's video, we've learned who Zambrano carers are, and also the fact that the child will need to confirm their dependency on the primary carer, on the Zambrano carer, and also what you need to show in order to qualify for indefinite leave to enter and remain. Remember, you need to show that you meet the eligibility requirements, and also you've lived in the UK for a continuous period of 5 years and no supervening event has occurred. I've explained what the 4 components of eligibility requirements are, and also what the Home Office means by the continuous qualifying period of 5 years. I've also explained that if you do not have the 5-year residence, which is necessary for indefinite leave to remain under the EU settlement scheme, you may still qualify for a pre-settled status under Appendix EU under the EU settlement scheme. And also I explained what they meant by supervening events, and finally what this may mean for you. Guys, if you are an EU national or a family member of an EU national, please do join one of these masterclasses. And if you know anyone who may benefit from this information, please feel free to forward the link to this video to your friends and family members. And I'll see you all in the next video.
If you found this video useful, you can do 3 things right now. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can visit my free website at ukvisasuccess.com, and most importantly, you can share this video with those who may benefit from it. By sharing these videos, you may help others avoid refusals of their immigration applications, because in immigration law, knowledge and clarity are the key ingredients to success. Thank you so much for your support and for your positive feedback, which incredibly inspires me and gives me fuel to create more and more videos clarifying various aspects of UK immigration law. Have a great day, everyone.